Larry Urish. Let's welcome him to the stage.
Welcome. About a month ago, I adopted an adorable little poodle mix, 15-pound fluff ball, just really adorable. And a couple of weeks ago, I was walking him around Courthouse Square. His name is Lucas. And there I was, walking around, saying hi to people. This really good-looking 20-something woman comes up and says, "Oh, so cute, so cute, oh, so cute." I said, "Thank you, I work out. What about the dog?" I like to mess with people. I'm a mostly retired writer. I work with words, occasionally clever. I guess you can say I'm sharp-tongued. My Match.com profile says that I'm a cunning linguist. Okay, I'm not going to include that next time. When I'm not, I got more responses, but when I'm not doing that, I like to paint murals. I've done about a half a dozen. One in particular was about 2002. My parents went on a cruise to the Mexican Riviera. My brother and I had keys to their house, and we painted a giant mural of Howard Stern's face, his headshot, about 8 feet. It's on my phone. I'll turn my phone on at halftime if you want to see it. I've already shown it. On my parents' garage. Took up the whole wall. Okay? We did that because my parents hate Howard Stern. But they loved it. They really got a kick out of it. On the subject of pranks, I've been known to do pranks on a regular basis. The one that comes to mind was about 30 years ago. I had a friend, a coworker, who insulted me. I forget what he said, but it was a good zinger. He nailed me. I kind of appreciated it when I wasn't crying. And I said I wanted to get this guy back. The first thing I thought of involved his eye drops and Tabasco sauce. And then I pictured him with a seeing eye dog and a white cane, and I thought, that's over the top. No. Instead, true story, I had a bouquet of flowers delivered to his place of work, okay? Left the flowers, took off. The note on the flowers said to Patrick, his name, "Thanks for last night. You were amazing. I love your stamina. Signed, Bruce." Okay. Honest to God, he called in sick that day. So the flowers, I'm not making this up, were on the front desk for all of his coworkers to go by. And about 4 years later, I said, "Hey, Pat, I'm Bruce." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, remember Bruce? He wanted to kill me. Okay. When I'm not messing with people, I go to the gym. Personal trainer asked me once my main goal working out. And I said, more than anything, I want to bench press my IQ. Okay? And then I said, 65 pounds is harder than it looks. You're saying, why the hell is he saying all this stuff? I do this, I do that. Here's my point. I am not good at DIY, do-it-yourself, home improvement. I suck at that. And the following story will show that very clearly. Picture this, it's 1983. I'm about 20 pounds lighter, jet black hair, standing in my bedroom, holding a handsaw. My bedroom door is on the bed, and there's a little pile of sawdust on newly installed carpeting. And I look kind of confused like an orangutan trying to do your taxes. I'm scratching my head with the saw. On the other side of the room is my roommate, doubled over in laughter, just cracking up, and I'm not very pleased. That means nothing right now, but let's go back a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks earlier, our landlord, by the way, we lived in an apartment in Burbank, 2-bedroom apartment. We called it an upscale dump, okay? It was upscale because it had something that was kind of unusual for the time, hardwood flooring. It was a dump because that hardwood flooring was plywood sheeting, okay? And, we got tired of slivers on the soles of our feet. Anyway, a couple of weeks earlier, the landlord, Frederico, we called him Flaky Freddy, decided to add carpeting to the apartment. Fantastic. It was light brown, plush, soft, very comfortable. The only downside is the fact that my bedroom door wouldn't open and close without a lot of effort. I got a workout every time, and after a couple of days, I'm thinking, this has to change. After a couple of weeks, I said, I'm done with this. Let me fix it. Let me fix it is not a good idea. It's a three-step process. You pop the door off, you trim the door, you put the door back on, and a problem. A normal person would use a flathead screwdriver and a hammer to tap the bolts up off of the hinges to remove the door. You've probably done that. Very simple. I grabbed the first thing that I thought of, which was a plastic protractor, like they use in geometry. And the bolt went up about 1.76 microns before it snapped like a taco shell. And I'm thinking, I didn't expect that. So I thought of possibly using an emery board or a laminated takeout menu, or I forget what the third one was, but it didn't work. Oh yeah, one of my maxed out credit cards. Those snapped too. I just snapped the protractor. I got logical. I grabbed a flathead screwdriver, removed the door. The door was heavier than I expected, high quality wood. Set the door on the bed, grabbed the saw, trimmed the door. It took me about 15 minutes. This was hard wood. Did a straight line. And that's when Joe, my roommate, walked in and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trimming the door." He said, he had no other words. He started laughing. And I said, "What the hell are you laughing at?" He said, "You know what?" He bent over, doubled over in laughter and said, "I'll leave you to it, Sparky. You just finish this. I'm going to go downstairs and talk to Flaky Freddy." And he did. I put the door back on. No change. Took the door off. Spent another 15 minutes trimming the door. Put the door back on. No change. I looked down. I looked up. And then I saw the light. Literally. Okay. This whole time I was trimming the top of the door. Being a mature 20-something, I just breathed. I thought, think good thoughts. And then I dropped a bunch of F-bombs, which shook the windows and the walls. I took the saw, spiked it so hard that instant karma happened. It clipped me I was wearing shorts, clipped me on the shin. I began bleeding. I'm wiping the blood just when I hear Joe, my roommate, and Flaky Freddy downstairs laughing at me. And right there I'm thinking, you are not a DIY person. Don't ever do this again. But did I learn? No. Yes, I did. Good night. No. I didn't learn. I learned, for example, that you don't find your nephew's hamster using a vacuum hose, okay? I found the hamster, but it didn't end well. 30 years later, he's still not speaking to me. I learned that you might shoot yourself in the forearm repeatedly with a staple gun if you use it as a hammer, okay? Don't do that. And finally, I learned, this is a little close to home, you don't use duct tape to repair a puncture in one of your blow-up dolls, okay? Don't judge me. She was deflated, I was deflated, it didn't end well. Finally, I get it, finally. Today, I know that you use the right tool for the right job, you breathe, you focus, figure it out. I know that when I have any kind of DIY thing to do, I pick up the one tool I should use, my iPhone. Thanks for coming out. See you next time.
Oh, thank you, Larry. Whenever Larry is asked what brought him to Prescott, he always has the same answer: creditors. A longtime journalist, now 85% retired, Larry currently enjoys writing one-liners and essays, as well as the occasional rubber check. Check out, I'm not good at that. You can check out his work at welcometolaryland.com. So ask what song could get him out on the dance floor. Larry says, no song will get me out on the dance floor. Really? No song? Nothing? The biggest misconception people have about Larry, that he has a serious side. If he could master anything, he would play piano. He's an early bird and a beach guy.